Hey guys, what's going on? This is Tony Tone, the Chess Salsero. Guys, today we're going to talk about tactics, the all important, what makes chess exciting. But today is going to be intermediate level tactics. I already did a video on basic tactics like, pin, a fork, a skewer. But these tactics are going to be a little more complicated. It's more for the intermediate level player, but beginners, you can watch this and learn this as well. I can't stress enough, guys, how tactics is so important in chess. You're going to learn to identify and recognize different tactical patterns and tactical shots and tactical combinations and different motifs. If you just study tactics as much as possible every single day, you want to go on chess.com or chess24 or leechess.org, whatever your website of choice is that has a chess engine on it. If it has tactical puzzles, you definitely want to, train your brain every single day as much as possible. Just train your brain to find tactics, to recognize tactics, to identify them in any and all positions, even as a beginner. Once you learn how the pieces move, the overall general opening chess principles, there's a lot more, because in the game of chess, you have three phases of a game, an opening, a middle game, and the all important end game. But throughout the entire game, you're going to be presented with tactical opportunities that we hope you can spot, before your opponent does, in any and all positions that will really help you gain short-term advantages, because that's what tactics really are. They're like the fireworks of chess. It's great when you're playing a blitz game, a bullet game, 1-2 minute bullet game, or 3-5 minute blitz game. 10 minutes, 20 minutes rapid, whatever. Tactics are all important. To me, it's more than 50% of the game of chess. There was a chess quote a long time ago by I don't remember who said 99% of chess is tactics. I don't really agree with that, but it is a major part of chess. And if you don't know tactics, man, you're going to lose a lot of games. So we're going to get into the intermediate level tactics here, and I'm going to name what we're going to learn today. There are about 10 different tactics. We're going to talk about attraction, what a battery is, clearance, decoys, deflections, double checks, and different examples of removing the defender. Like you can remove a defender using a capture, overloading pieces, or using what I call a triangle attack. Okay, so we're going to get into that right now, and I'm going to click on the very first one here. We're going to analyze this. All right, so in this game, what an attraction is, it's when you force or when you lure an enemy piece onto a square where it'll become vulnerable to some other tactics behind it. So, for example, if I take this rook and I capture this bishop here, this is called the law of attraction. In other words, I do that, boom. The black army is not going to simply just move out of the way and just allow me to take a bishop for free. So it has to capture it. When it does that, it sets up a skewer that right behind it is a more valuable piece than that king. Well, not than the king, but just than the bishop. So the king has to move. It cannot stay in check. Get out of the way, and bam, I got a free rook. So let's go through that really quick again. This is an attraction, an example of what an attraction is. It's two pieces here. If this king were here, this would not. Well, actually, it would work, but if this was a different position and the king was not defending the bishop directly, this would not work. That's what I meant to say. So let's say I take the bishop. He has to take me back. I skewer the king. He has to get out of the way. He cannot defend the rook because he's too far away. He can't stay on this diagonal because he's being attacked. Get out of the way, and bam. Now I'm up a piece in a winning position in an end game, and I win. So let's go find out now what a battery is. We're going to do a queen and bishop battery and a 2-rook battery. And I'm going to come over here to my little chess library. Well, let's get out of here. Let's go to my library. Just giving you guys different examples of intermediate level tactics. So let's go to a battery with 2 rooks. Let's analyze this position. All right, so what a battery basically is, just so you guys know, it's when you line up 2 or more of your pieces on the same diagonal, rank, or file. It could be queen and bishop. It could be 2 rooks. You know, there's more power on a diagonal, rook, or file when you have 2 big, powerful pieces on it. So in this case, I have a potential back rank mate. Excuse me. Why? Because none of his pieces here, these pawns, are open. In other words, he doesn't have, if he moves this up, he doesn't have an escape square to go to. So if it's white's move, I'm going to come right here, attack. The rook has to take. And then I take, and this is checkmate. It's a back rank mate. This could not have happened if I didn't have 2 rooks lined up on the same file, creating a battery. So we're going to look at another example. Right here in the queen and bishop. This is very simple. You have a queen and a bishop on a diagonal heading into the enemy position. It's white's move. Bam, that's checkmate. Literally just like that. Why did that happen? How? It's because 2 powerful pieces are lined up on the same diagonal. All right, so we're going to go to what's called clearance, guys. This is an intermediate level tactic that you can use. And basically what it is, let me actually analyze this right here. Clearance, boom. What you're doing is you're setting up like this, you're putting a lot of pressure on a file here, and you're clearing it out. In other words, watch. It's white's move, white's turn. The rook comes here. It attacks the king. It has to capture the rook, or you cannot stay in that position. It captures it. I slide the queen over to attack that king. It's stuck like Chuck in a rut here. It has no escape squares, so it has to go back where it came from. I just cleared that file, and now I come in for the kill. Boom. And the reason this is checkmate, obviously, is because the knight defends the queen, so the king cannot take the queen. That's called clearance. So we're going to come back here. We're going to go to another cool intermediate level tactic called a decoy. What a decoy is, basically, guys, it's like a tactical idea where you lure your opponent, their piece, away from where it is needed. So since that piece can't be in 2 places at the same time, a decoy can help you achieve your goal. So what do I mean? Watch this. It's white's move. Black is obviously in a world of problems. He has no army. It's been decimated. It's just him. But he cannot defend both of these pawns at the same time as they head toward their promotion square. So if it's white's move, excuse me, just so you know, king cannot go here. It's protected. Cannot go here. It's protected. It can go here, but it's white's move. So white moves up. He's 2 squares away. So if the king goes to chase it, I move the other square. So I created a decoy with my D pawn so I could promote my A pawn. So if I continue this way, this sequence, he tries to go back to protect that one. I push the D pawn. He tries to protect the D pawn. I push the A pawn. He cannot be in 2 places at once. He cannot defend both. That's impossible. This game was over. He goes to defend the A pawn. I promote the D pawn. So I mean, this game is over. It was already over at this point. But this is a good example so you understand what a decoy is. I highly suggest, guys, that you guys rewind this video and you go over all of these tactics, even the beginners ones, over and over and over. So, guys, we're going to talk about deflection. What is a deflection, right? So, for example, reflection is a form of removing the defender. So you deflect the defending piece by capturing another piece it's supposed to defend. And after the trade, you'll be able to take advantage of a new weakened square. So for example, in this case, look at this. The defender of this rook is the knight. If I remove that, boom, he has to take me. And now look what it sets up. A double attack, a fork on the bishop and the king. So I'm going to be up in material. So if I go back here, I want you guys to see this. I remove the rook. He has to take me. I do a double attack, or I fork the bishop to the king. And that's what's called a deflection. And I pick up a free piece. So even though we do have one piece, a rook, especially in the endgame, is worth way more than any minor piece like a bishop or a knight. On top of that, I am up a pawn. He has 4 pawns. I have 5. So this game is over for him because I'm attacking. Again, another fork on this pawn and on this pawn. And he can't do anything to prevent this. I'm going to mop up all these pawns. I'm going to push and promote one of these or both to his promotion square, gaining another queen. This game is over. So this is an example, guys, of deflection. Now, guys, we're going to show you what a double check is. A double check is really, really cool. It simply is what it says. It checks the king twice in one move. So let me set this up here. Double check, analyze. So the interesting thing about a double check is that the only way to get out of check is to move the king. It's not possible to capture or block 2 checking pieces with one move. So here's my example. Watch this. If you look at this, this is kind of like a battery. This is a discovered attack. This is 2 tactics in one. A discovered attack, which is my favorite tactic, which I have in my beginners. It's really in an intermediate, but it's like it's close to, both. But I have it in my basic tactics video. And watch, when I move my rook, I am attacking this king with the bishop and the rook simultaneously. He cannot capture me here because he cannot leave his king in check because it's under attack by the bishop. He cannot capture this bishop because the king is under attack from this rook. He cannot capture this rook with his rook because the bishop is attacking the king. This is a powerful little tactical shot here. I love it. So he's going to lose this rook because of this double attack on his king with my bishop and this rook. So I'm going to go back again. Boom. Double attack. He has to move. The king cannot stay in check. It's illegal. When he does, bam, I pick up a free rook heading into an endgame. It doesn't matter that we have 4 pawns each. This rook is going to mop up because it's more powerful than the bishop. It's going to mop up all these pawns eventually. Again, a fork on 2 pawns on the opposite sides of the board. That's an example, guys, of a double check. There are many examples of this. I thought this was a good one, so I chose this. So next, we're going to talk about removing the defender with a capture. So, guys, I want you to see this. So removing the defender basically means that I'm going to remove the defender of a piece that I want to capture. So this is what I mean. If you look at this, because this king is here in this position, if it was here and here, this would not work. But watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to remove the defender of this queen and put him in check. This is called also an advantage in time. This is a tempo because it's a forced move. He has to respond to this king being attacked. He cannot leave it in check. When he moves out of the way, wherever he goes, or you capture the attacker and remove the defender of the queen. So now the queen gets captured, which is really bad. This game is basically over. I have a queen and a rook versus just, an unsafe king in the middle of the board, and he has just one rook, which is locked and hemmed in here. This is ugly, okay? I want you to see this again, guys. I want to capture this queen for free. Getting somebody's queen for free without any compensation, the game literally ends right there, because somebody's not going to play an entire game without their queen while their opponent has a powerful queen and they know what they're doing with it. So I check the king. He has to respond by either moving out of the check or taking the piece that is checking him, which is my bishop with his pawn. He does. And now the knight that was there defending this queen is no longer defending her, the queen. So I get a queen for free. It's kind of ugly. All right. So I'm going to show you another example of removing the defender, but with what's called overloading. Overloading. So let me show you here what I mean. So there are two ways to remove a defender. One is by capturing, which I just showed you, the attacker, and the other one is by overloading the defender. Meaning, look at this. He has a back rank mate. This is what I'm visualizing in my brain. I see that he only has one defender of the back rank, which is his rook, right? All of this little pawn gate he has here, he has no escape squares. He's not here, so he can't escape here. In the event that I check him, which I'm going to do right now, I'm going to show you what I mean. Bam. I take this bishop. I remove that. In other words, this rook is defending this bishop. So he's overloaded because he has to defend both the bishop that was there previously and the back rank. He can't do both at the same time. So I'm overloading his, I'm putting too much weight on him. He can't handle all the weight. So he can't defend the bishop and the back rank at the same time. So I get a free bishop. And let's say he does take me. Bam. He's not defending the back rank. I come in and I checkmate his king because his king is hemmed in here in a confined space with no escape squares at all for the king. And that was all made possible because I removed, by overloading this bishop, he would have to come back here in order to continue playing. And I'm going to be up a piece. And with two rooks versus one rook in an endgame, it's just I'm going to mop up those pawns and the game's going to be over. So I have a major advantage. So I want you to see this one more time, guys. He is overloaded. In the previous example, I captured the attacking piece, removing the defender to the queen. But in this example, I am overloading the rook. He's overloaded. He can't defend that and the bishop at the same time. I pick up a free bishop. He captures it. I get a checkmate. Awesome. All right. I'm going to show you one last example, what I called a triangle attack in the tactical theme of removing the defender. So watch this. This pawn, again, defends two pieces at once. It's also an overload. I call it a triangle attack because, look, it looks like a little triangle, right? So, but what am I going to do here? Watch what I'm doing here. I'm going to remove the defender of this bishop, which is the pawn, so I could check this king while picking up his rook, all in one tactical shot. Bam. My rook gives up the exchange, meaning I gave up a higher value piece for a lower value piece. That's what giving up an exchange means, or being up in the exchange, which I'm going to do another video on. So watch this. He has to take my rook because he's not going to give me a free knight. And then it removes the defender of the bishop, which I now take with the queen. He has to get out of the way. And then I pick up his pawn. And this game is over. I got a pass pawn here. It's just he has no army. He's done. Let's watch this again. This is another version other than overloading and capturing. This is a form of overloading called the triangle attack. based on the tactic called removing the defender. I remove the defender of the bishop by capturing the knight with my rook. Boom. He takes with the pawn. I take the bishop. He's under attack. This is a tempo, a time initiative advantage, and then I get a pawn on top of it. Now, you might ask, why don't I capture the bishop first? Why don't I capture this? Because if I capture it, I'm giving up my big old queen for a bishop, and then he takes me, and yes, I take the rook, but I'm not putting him under attack. So this would work in this position because there are no other pieces around, but generally I want to give up a lesser piece, not the big old queen, to remove the defender in this position. Why not keep the higher value piece, which is the queen? So that's why, yes, it'll work, but only in this unique specific position where he has no other defenders, no other pieces helping him. He has he's just no army. So anyway, guys, I just showed you a bunch of intermediate level tactics, guys, from removing the defender, 3 different examples, to a double check, a deflection, a decoy, clearance, 2 examples of a battery, and the law of attraction. Guys, study this stuff. Watch this video, rewind it a million times, go over it, set up positions in your home or online somewhere so you could practice on your own, and do tactical puzzles. You can find them on leechess.org, chess24, and chess.com, top 3 chess engines and servers on earth, where all the big dogs play. And I can't stress enough, guys, that you have to be able to recognize tactical shots, combinations, motifs, and tactical opportunities in every and all positions from beginner to intermediate to advanced, so you can, outduel your opponent. You can spot a tactical shot quick, boom, and literally that guy or girl, your opponent, will end the game right there because they missed something tactically that you found. Okay? Study this stuff, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. You can follow me on Instagram on the chess_salcero, or of course, please subscribe here on my YouTube channel called chess.salcero27. And had fun, guys. Tactics, tactics, tactics. This is Tony Tone, the Chess Salcero. I am out. Peace.